welcome to another episode of Healing Space. This is going to be a special episode because we're going to get to know our friend Katelyn a little bit better. You might know her professionally as Dr. Baker or from social media as That Fat Doctor, and we would love to get to know you more.
What an intro. That was so nice. I love it. Okay, hello. So we're going to talk a little bit about my story because we're about to share with you a lot of other people's stories and a lot of other situations throughout this series. So we thought it was important that you all can get to know Cara and I, and also maybe you can resonate with our individual stories because we've had our own struggles.
We've been through it.
Mentally and physically. So I guess I'll just start with I've had HS for as long as I can remember. One of my very first memories is my mother, bless her heart, holding me down and squeezing a big one. I think it was on probably the vulva. It was not a pretty one. And it literally hit the ceiling. The trajectory was impressive. And I just remember screaming bloody murder. So whenever anyone asks me when did you first get HS, I don't know. It probably before that point, but I remember that very specific memory. My mom hates that I remember that and tell that story, but also that's what she thought. That's what brought me relief after the torture. So a mom was just trying to be a mom. This is gonna help you afterwards. Let's just do it. So from then I have struggled with body image. I've struggled with eating disorders. I have struggled with panic disorder. All of the things. And you might be thinking to yourself, Dr. Katelyn, you're a psychologist. You sound pretty fucked up. And you're right. You're absolutely correct. I guarantee you that most of the therapists you will ever meet in your life are the most unstable people, because why do we seek out this profession? We have our own mental anguish that we yearn for answers, and we also, when we get those answers, want to help others find their answers. So yeah, it was not a good time. I had a really rough time in high school. I was always a big lady. I've been 5'11" since I was in 7th grade. And I just kept getting bigger and bigger from when I hit puberty. PCOS kicked in. And then I was playing sports, volleyball, softball. And I just was continuing to gain weight. I had a really big issue with body odor and not knowing how to manage my HS when I was that young, because I didn't want to tell my parents about it, right? That's mortifying. And I didn't really know what to do, so everyone just told me that I stunk, and I was like, oh, cool. So I just learned to stay away from people. I would not I started to not let people hug me. Literally, there was a point in my life where, my mom was like, I haven't hugged you in, a year. And I'm like, good. I like it like that. Because it's a defense mechanism, right? Don't get close to me. Because I didn't know how to use resources, how to ask, how do I properly take care of this? Or not even recognizing, the smell isn't my fault. I can shower 5 times a day, and if it's draining, it's draining. Yeah. It just is. So, I eventually found out how to shower and take care of those. But I had to do my own research, and I had to figure out what was going on with my body. I went to a gynecologist for my PCOS diagnosis, and she took one look at my underarm while doing an exam and was like, oh, you have HS. And I was like, I have high school, because I was in high school. I was like, yeah, I'm in high school. Like, what do you mean? And she said, no, it's a skin thing. It's called hidradenitis suppurativa, and it actually, we see it a lot in women that also have PCOS. And I was like, first of all, what the hell did you just say? Because when you hear that word for the first time,
it's intimidating. It sounds to me always like some sort of like Harry Potter spell.
Literally, it's like, hidradenitis, like. So that was my first thought. Yeah. And my second thought was, holy shit, this thing has a name. It has it. Can I pronounce it? No. But it has one, and that's what mattered. So I'm 16-ish. And I have a name for it. They don't do anything for it. I know what it is, which is so cool, I guess. And I just lived with it. I dealt with it. I never sought treatment.
Okay.
I was very self-conscious, just so bad. I was married in a relationship with a man for 10 years, and I never let this man see me naked.
Wow.
In 10 years. Do you know how hard that, like, I deserve an award for keeping this locked up, because that's hard to do.
Living in the same house with someone?
It's hard.
Yeah.
So I just could not, like, I didn't think that those parts of me were anything to be seen, right? Like, this is going to disgust him even more than my body already does. Like, imagine that on top of, in reality, he didn't care, right? Like, he was very aware. I think I thought I hid it a lot better than I did. But it's a mental thing, and it's completely in your head. How much this disease affects you is physical, but it is also so much mental. So much mental. You're constantly worrying. Can other people tell that I'm in pain, or I have to have accommodations and people are going to look at me for that? Do I smell? Am I going to have to run to the bathroom in the middle of this meeting because I had an explosion? It literally never ends. And the mentality of this disease. And I think that's why it leads to really high comorbidity with a lot of other mental illnesses. Because there's a lot going on up there.
It just makes you, I always feel like you have like extra tabs open compared to other people running in the background that you're constantly thinking and worrying about, which puts you into like an overdrive state. And then it's like, surprise, you have anxiety.
Because you're just constantly like, when I walk into a room, I'm scanning. Okay, first, is this going to support me? Because that's first and foremost. Secondly, is that going to be comfortable?
Oh, yeah. The scanning for, like, is it only wooden chairs here?
Yeah.
The amount of times that we've gone to, like, a restaurant and I'm like, there's only wooden chairs here. I can't eat here.
No, I have to look ahead of time. Like, if we're going out or even renting, like, this Airbnb, right? I'm looking at all the furniture when I'm picking Airbnbs, because we all have HS and I want everyone to be comfortable. But like, that's things that other people don't have to think about, and it's hard to explain to people that don't have it, because like it's just so natural for us to do all those things in preparation for ourselves, but it's never a thought on someone else's mind. And that's bonkers to me. So if you are a loved one of someone with HS, be nice to them, please. I'm supposed to be talking about me. Okay, so
you just like go into therapist mode. You're like, let me help everyone else.
A little bit. Before we dive back into today's conversation, I want to take a moment to thank UCB Pharmaceuticals for making the Healing Space podcast possible. At UCB, they believe in looking beyond the symptoms and seeing the whole person. They understand that living with hidradenitis suppurativa means more than managing physical health. It's about supporting mental health too. Their commitment to our community, to innovation, advocacy, and compassion is what makes partnerships like this so meaningful. We're so grateful to have UCB standing beside us, helping us create a space where healing is more than a goal. It's a journey we take together. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
So now we've talked about like the past. How is your HS and relationships and things present day?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
So, since finding social media in 2020 and I started posting body positivity content.
We love it.
Which was really just me like shaking my ass on a screen.
We're here for it.
It was really fun. It was a fun time. But I don't do that anymore, mostly because I decided I was too professional, which is the funniest thing I've ever told myself. But I think now it's like I don't have to show everybody that I am confident in who I am, because I don't make a point to go out of my way to show people anymore. Like before, it was like, I'm fat and I have these scars and these, and I need to show everyone that I don't care by wearing, little shorts and little whatever. Which, like, if you want to do that, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing it for me. I was doing it to, like, make a point.
Yeah.
And I wasn't comfortable, not because I didn't feel, but because I'm a comfy, cozy person.
Yeah.
And I want my comfy cozies. Like, I need it. So, I think I've grown a lot in my own, like, I've always been confident, but I started doing it for me.
I love that.
Which has led to a relationship with my current partner, who I literally daily am just buck-ass naked, walking around the house, in the kitchen, and it's just completely, like, I don't even think twice about it. And thinking about where I was, like, 5 years ago, terrified of having the lights on during sex, to, hey, can you look at this for me? Is such a huge difference.
Yep.
It's amazing. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I'm in a relationship with a woman who inherently I think is just more understanding and less, I guess there's less societal, I don't expect judgment from her like I would expect judgment from a man. Not that he would have judged me, but, like, my brain says that he would have judged me harder. So, and also, my partner has HS. She didn't know what it was. And then, I don't know, like a year in maybe to our relationship, I saw something in her armpit, and I was like, oh, you have like a little, and she's like, yeah, I get them sometimes. They're usually like, I get them like under my boobs, and I was like, oh.
You're like flashing lights.
And then she's like, yeah, and it gets really bad the week before my period, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you did say.
So, I, introduced her to what HS is, and it's been a really beautiful thing. Like, bandaging each other as part of, like, a routine, right? Having moments of, like, when we would, this is probably TMI, Mom, don't listen to this, please. Like, showering together and, like, the gentleness of knowing, like, it's just an intimacy that I didn't know existed, and it's because I started loving my own body and self and knowing that I didn't need to prove it to anyone, that I could finally let go and let her love me. Just, I let her.
For who you are.
Yeah. That was terrifying.
Yes.
Right? It's so scary. But here we are.
Here we are. Proud of you.
Thank you. That was deep. I don't talk, that was...
Yeah.
I don't really talk about, like, I'm a therapist, right? So I talk about everyone else's life, and I make very self-deprecating jokes, because that's who I am as a human. but I don't like talking about myself.
I know. We've been working together for how long now? And I have asked so many times little questions, and you're like, skirt around it. So I've been so excited that I'm put you on the spot and being like, now you got to talk. I want to hear your story. Your story is so powerful for the community, too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I really hope I want to share more about it and more about, like, you know, the specific mental techniques and tools that I used once I learned them in grad school. You know, I would, of course, practice them immediately on myself. And I want to share all of that with you. I want you all to walk away from this podcast as we go through with, you know, ideas of how to calm a busy mind, ideas of how to relax and fully relax, including in your brain not beating the crap out of yourself.
Yes.
And there are ways to do that and different tools and techniques. So I learned those. I applied them on myself when I could. And I just stopped focusing on having it be my identity. Like, hiding was my identity, even though I was in plain sight.
And it's so much work. I think people underestimate how much work goes into hiding it. So much work. And it doesn't matter how much work you put in, it still feels impossible.
Yeah.
To, like, have it fully hidden and a fully kept secret.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, on the plane, on the way here, I'm sitting in my seat, and I have a huge flare. My worst ones, I get them, like, in my ass crack, all up and down, and then just everywhere. And I was sitting, and I just move around a lot, right? Because, like, you sit in one spot for too long, like, you have to adjust.
Gotta move.
And I felt like I was annoying the lady next to me, and I found myself apologizing to her every time that I moved. This lady wasn't even sitting directly next to me, by the way. There was a middle seat between us. That's how much I think that other people notice my discomfort. Nobody's paying attention to me.
No.
They don't give a shit. But, like, I feel like it's so noticeable.
They did and they were annoyed. That's just part of being in the world. There's people who have to move and adjust, and that person can self-soothe themselves. They'll be okay.
They will be okay.
They will be okay.
They'll probably complain about me, but guess what? I will never know.
Exactly. And what are they actually complaining about? Like, you didn't hurt her.
No.
You didn't do something on purpose. It wasn't malicious. Like, if she's going to go and complain, she has a pretty sparkly life if it bothered her that much. That was the thing in the day.
She did look very privileged. Just
She had a very nice pantsuit.
She might have been a derm, actually, at the conference, you know?
She might have just been looking at you because she was a derm and going, I wonder.
Maybe.
She's got the HS, like, seat shuffle going on.
That's, like, we need to, like, coin that or something, because it's such a thing. But, yeah, so we spend so much of our time hiding, trying to fit in, trying to do things that, quote-unquote, normal people do.
Yep.
But it takes us twice the energy, and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm tired. I can't express.
Yeah.
And I mean, y'all can relate, right? Just the mental baggage, the physical pain, the financial cost of bandages and wound care supplies, and add into it the shame, it's awful. I mean, how about, like, I hate canceling things because of my HS, but there are some, like, my partner doesn't drive.
Okay.
And that means I have to. And if I have a bad, weird flare somewhere, and, like, lifting my leg up and down in that way is not working, I feel like it's so hard to say no, right? Like, it's so hard. But we have this expectation that we can't.
Yeah.
And where the hell does that come from?
I don't know. It's like a pressure we put on ourselves.
Yeah.
That we need to just be able to do everything that everyone else does, even though what everyone else is doing is also made up in our head, because we really don't know what other people are doing.
And other people don't have this condition.
Yeah.
Or like many of us who have multiple conditions. So why are we trying to do what someone that's perfectly healthy does?
Yeah. And like I always think to myself too, I'm like, this seemingly, and I'm looking at this person, healthy person, I don't actually know what's going on behind closed doors either, because for so long people didn't know that you had HS. They had no idea what was going on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Like they could be sitting across from me from the table and I'm like, oh man, like I'm comparing myself to you. I wish I could be you. You're like all perfect. And in the back of their head, they could be like, where's the bathroom? I actually have secret Crohn's and I'm terrified to eat this meal.
Yeah.
And we don't know that because we're all tend to be closed off.
No, and that is one of my favorite things to use in therapy was like, you know how when you go out to a restaurant, what are your thoughts? What's going on? You're observing what's around you. You're observing the people, the noises, the lighting, all of it. You're having anxiety about what other people are thinking about you. You are. And the funny thing is that everyone is doing the same thing. So no one's paying attention to anyone while we sit there worrying that everyone is paying attention to us and judging us. It is a cluster.
Yeah.
It is a very vicious cycle. So sometimes it just takes a matter of like, one of my favorite things to say, especially in public and when I'm traveling, is I'm never going to see these people again.
Yeah.
Well, I might maybe end up on the internet in a video. Maybe. But that's not my problem right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think what has been one of the biggest things for me has just been acceptance. Just, I have this thing. It's not my fault. Yes. It's never been my fault. And I'm dealing with it. And I'm loved. Yes.
You're so loved.
And life is okay. I mean, it sucks, but it's fine. You know? It's like, this is out of my control. I know what I do have in my control. And we find that balance and make it work.
Balance is such a key word.
I'm still nowhere near done with my growth journey. I'm still a hot mess express. But when it comes to accepting the part of me that is ill, that is, I feel like that younger version of me has really started healing. And then that makes big me, no pun intended, big me feel healed as well.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. Sharing is so hard. It's so vulnerable. It's not easy, especially for the whole internet. So thank you. I feel very special that I get to be part of this little story.
Thanks, Laura. And thank y'all for listening. All right, y'all.
Bye.
Peace out.